If given the opportunity to have a reading time before an exam or test, make sure you use it wisely. Maths questions need to be read very slowly so that you actually interpret some of the key information. In doing so, make sure you try and work out what's the best approach to do a question, and that way you can determine whether or not it's an easy question that you should tackle first. Have a good idea about which sort of questions you want to work through the paper initially, so that you've got some idea about where you want to be at the halfway mark or various points in the assessment. It would be wise to ensure that questions that are worth a lot of marks are attempted perhaps at the beginning or middle of the paper. Avoid leaving those towards the end, because even if they may be difficult, there's an opportunity to pick up part marks, and you're better off doing that with plenty of time up your sleeve. When a time constraint occurs in a test or an exam, some questions are going to appear difficult to solve in a very short period of time. If that's the case, make sure that when you see a difficult question that you do read through it very slowly and try to write down and identify some of the key information within the question. Try to clarify what the question is actually asking rather than assuming what's being told. Make sure that you do make an attempt to solve it. Often the final solution is only worth 1 or 2 marks. It's the method that's worth a lot of marks. So try to work through a process as best as you possibly can, and if you can't solve it within the given time available to you, it's time to move on. Always be realistic about the result that you're getting in the exam. Not many people get 100%, so it's pointless getting bogged down trying to achieve the perfect result. Give a question a fair go, and once you've done the best you possibly can do, it's time to move on. There are many times in an assessment where some of us feel like things are out of control. Perhaps we're starting to panic because we're not achieving to the best of our ability. Make sure you recognise when this situation starts to occur and have some strategies up your sleeve. One of the things you can do is take a few deep breaths to compose yourself. Always remember that you are there to maximise your score, and a perfect result is very hard to achieve. If time is the enemy, do what you possibly can in the time left, and make sure that you are aware that maybe not everything is going to get done in the time available to you. As mentioned before, use your reading time very carefully to identify questions that are easiest for us. When doing those questions, still treat them with respect. That means show all your steps, show all your setting out to make sure that you maximise your score. When finished with those, it's an opportunity to build up your confidence and tell yourself that you are doing well. If things don't go so well and you achieve a poor result, make sure you learn from that. It's a great opportunity to go back and reflect on some things that may have gone wrong. For example, was it poor preparation? Did you actually know the topics as well as what you thought you did going into the exam? Perhaps in the assessment itself there was poor planning. Did you do the easy questions first? Did you do some of the major mark questions in the middle of the paper, or did you leave them towards the end? And did you mix up some of your concepts? Did you actually know them but apply them incorrectly in a question, which suggests that maybe some more study was required? And were your errors perhaps careless? Maybe what you need to do is go back and review some of your basic skills to give yourself the best opportunity of success. There'll be many occasions where maths assessments or things in life are going to challenge us. What we must be prepared to do is come up with strategies to manage and cope with the situation that we find ourselves in. So here's a quick summary of some of the things that we've looked at. Use the reading time carefully so we can plan for the assessment as we work through it. If we come across difficult questions, try and break them down so we can get some marks from the key steps. And be realistic about your score. 100% is a difficult result to achieve, so we're there to maximise our marks. Always have a strategy to cope with a situation where things feel like they're getting out of control, but at the same time make sure that we gain confidence from the easy questions that we've covered. If things don't go so well, it's time to review the exam and have a look at what went wrong and see if we can come up with some strategies to perform better on the next occasion.